Happy birthday on Jupiter at night. A happy birthday, because it's Chris's birthday tonight. Yay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very strange episode of Jupiter at Night. My name is Jeremy, and as you can see, I'm all alone. That is because today is Chris's birthday. Now, I don't know if you guys are longtime fans of Jupiter at Night and our other broadcasting and everything, but if you are, you probably know that Chris is one of the busiest people on the planet. Between his day job, his family, his wife, 2 kids, and 2 neurotic dogs, and this little hobby that he's trying to turn into an actual profit-making venture, well, I don't know how the guy has a chance to breathe, much less have any fun. So, today's his birthday, and the absolute best present that I could think of to give him for his birthday was a night off. So, unless I'm mistaken, I think he's in his office right now playing video games. So, happy birthday, dude. That's really all I've got for the show tonight, as far as actual content. Actually, no. I'm going to share a story with you. This story, I hope you enjoy it. I'll try to make it as amusing as possible, is going to be about the day that I met Chris, which was only about 2 years ago, maybe a little more than 2 years ago. There was once upon a time in a land far away, there was a little show called Castablasta. It started off as an audio-only show, and for, I think, a couple years, starred Chris and John, who you might have seen on a few episodes of Jupiter at Night, and Brian from the Linux Action Show, and Beer's Tasty, and a couple of our other stuff. He's also been on Jupiter at Night as well. Anyway, so the 3 of those guys started up this show, and then, like I said, about 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years, I think now, Brian invited me to come be on the show. The thing is, when he invited me to be on this show, he told me nothing about it. He told me only this much. It's a geeky news show. That's not much to go by, Brian. But at the time, I was a very big fan of talk radio. Now, the few news shows that I had listened to on talk radio tended to take themselves pretty darn seriously. They were really into their content. They did a lot of research. They asked the hard-hitting questions, and they really got down to the meat of everything and had great conversations. That's why you listen to a news show. So that was kind of what I had going into Castablasta. Well, some of you I know, even on the live stream, you listen to that show, and you know that show did not take itself seriously on any level. I didn't know that going into it. I was completely unprepared. So I spent a lot of time going over the content and really doing my research and getting these big speeches ready about my opinion on certain things and everything like that. I hadn't met Chris yet until the day that we were going to record. So keep in mind my general attitude about what I thought that I was getting myself into. My very first impression of Chris, first of all, he showed up about 15 minutes to a half hour late. So that was a great first impression right there. Secondly, he forgot some of the equipment that we needed to actually record the show. I don't think it was anything really necessary to what we were doing because we ended up recording anyway, but I think we didn't have monitors or something like that. But that was my very first meeting of Chris. It was like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Chris. I'm late and I forgot things. Great, dude. So then we get down to start recording this show. Me and Brian and Chris and John all sitting there in Brian's living room, mostly wired up, minus the stuff that Chris had forgotten. And not 30 seconds into us actually starting the show, Chris says something completely inappropriate. I don't remember exactly what it was. It might have been a fart joke. It might have been something about boobies. I don't really remember. All I remember is actually looking over at him and going, "Who are you and what are you doing on my show?" in my head. Because it was completely inappropriate. It threw off my entire vibe. And if you ever had the chance to listen to that first episode, I actually only spent about 30 seconds of the entire episode talking because I was completely off my game because of this inappropriate, late, lazy asshole sitting on the other couch. That was my first meeting with Chris. Now, fortunately, we've gotten to know each other a bit better over the last couple years that we've worked together. And I've come to realize that everything that I thought about him at first was completely correct. Except the lazy part. Chris is actually, like I said, one of the hardest working people that I've ever met. And I don't want to bromance too much here on the air because it might embarrass him, but he's actually inspired me a bit because of him leading by example of just being so passionate about everything he does and just really a go-getter. That's what led me to now I'm doing video game journalism. That's why I helped him launch this show. I mean, it's really contagious, and I wanted to thank him for that. And once more, just before the end of the episode, happy birthday to the hair and the man that wears it. Now, that is really all I've got to do tonight, so I wanted to give you a little glimpse into tomorrow's show, however. Some of you might have noticed some of the gestures I've been doing. I'm wearing a glove. This glove is called the Peregrine, and it is a left-hand gaming peripheral. I don't want to give away too much information. I want you guys to actually tune in tomorrow to see how it works and what I think about it, but we will be doing that tomorrow. More importantly than that, we're actually experiencing a first on Jupiter Broadcasting tomorrow night. We're going to have an actual interview with somebody important, the inventor of this. Brent Beyer, I think is how you pronounce his name, will be joining us live on Skype. So tune in tomorrow night at the usual time, 8 p.m. Pacific, live. You can get to that by going to jupiterbroadcasting.com/live. If you can't actually watch the video version, we have an audio stream now that you can listen along even when you're in your car or walking down the street or something. I don't know. Anyway, jupiterbroadcasting.com/listen. The page that it's set up is very mobile friendly, very easy to get the stream working. Now, as some of you might know, we launched that yesterday. We did a whole big show about audio streaming to kind of set the mood for it. And then this morning, it crashed. Our stream was streaming dead air for about 2 hours. If you tried to tune in, I'm sorry about that. We're still working out all the technical side of it. We kind of last minute rushed it to get it together in time for last night's show to do the big audio streaming announcement and everything. But it should be working now. It should be working now. It should be working now. So again, that's jupiterbroadcasting.com/listen. And that is the end of tonight's episode. I hope you join us tomorrow night for Jupiter at Night at the usual time. Good night.